Hi! Lasers are always great. I personally think that every game should have as many lasers as it can possibly fit in. But not everyone shares this opinion. Today we will make a shader for many different kinds of big fancy lasers. So your game can have lasers in it as it should. We will use a very important technique in shader development, combining a number of noise textures until it finally looks good. Shaders produced in that way will typically be very customizable.
We will use Align2D in order to make a laser that can bend, but you can also use a sprite if you want. For the start, we give the line 2 points, increase the width, and set the texture to anything. We need 1, but you won't see any of it, so let's take a pixel. Set the texture mode to stretch. And now we give the line a shader material. We start by defining some uniforms. We want 2 different texture inputs for noise patterns and 2D vectors to make them scroll. Let's actually set the uniforms to noise textures and don't forget to set them to seamless. We will take a look at the simplex noise parameters later. To compensate for the length and width of the line, we add stretch uniforms which can be set programmatically. To get the first cool looking effect, we want to superpose these textures. For this, we will sample from them using the texture built-in. As the noise textures are grayscale, they give us a scalar brightness value. We calculate the laser's intensity value simply by adding both sampled brightness values. We can give it a nice effect by cutting off the low intensity parts to get a nice border. We introduce the uniform laser size for this. Let's add the scrolling. And that appears to be quite fast. A speed parameter is a simple fix for this. We want the laser to be a continuous beam though. So we calculate how central the pixel is within the sprite or line. We just use the distance to the middle of the UVs for that and transform it to fit the interval from 0 to 1. Now we use the centrality for the border calculation in a convex combination with the intensity. For that we add a uniform interpolation factor. This is basically the wobbliness of the laser. It starts to look quite nice, but we still need to calculate the color. We add 2 colors for our main color scheme. I like an intense red. We then interpolate between the 2 color uniforms with the mix built in. We also add a uniform for the color balance. Also, we want a brightness factor to make the laser glow. And at this point, we could very well stop, but I think an additional bit of transparency variation could look nice. We just add another noise texture and sample it for the alpha value. There should always be some base alpha and the rest can be dependent on the texture. We can give it its own scroll, but it looks nice if we scroll it with the same speed of one of the main textures. Do it as you like. You can also add the centrality to the intensity to make the laser brighter in the middle. It already looks kind of nice, but it is by far not as laser as it needs to be.
So we can make the whole laser a bit more dynamic if we increase the speed. The darker color maybe should be a bit darker, and we can make the lighter color a bit more present. We can make the laser's texture a bit rougher if we increase the linearity. The speed can be even a little bit higher. And we should compress the laser a little bit more with the X stretch. Also we can add more points to make the laser bend. It is not very realistic, but it looks pretty.
I hope you like the lasers. The GitHub link is in the description. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel as we will be posting more tutorials in the future. What was the coolest laser you've ever seen in a video game? Please tell us in the comments. Until next time, bye!